Welcome to those who have joined us all here on a beautiful, clear evening. The conditions contributing to a fantastic atmosphere in the stands. This really is the place to be. I'm Peter Drury, and providing analysis and expert opinion alongside me will be Jim Beglin.
Thanks for that, Peter. Hi, everyone. The excitement has really picked up now, and I'm eager for the action to start.
There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary, and we should be in for something very special. Well, now, here's a team sheet that speaks of excitement and unpredictability, Jim.
It certainly does, Peter, especially since it includes a certain Dimitar Berbatov. I think he'll be the key to connecting the midfield to the attack here. Such a potent finisher, but remarkably unselfish too, and he will often drop that little bit deeper to try and trigger attacks himself.
Just such a clever footballer, and there's always a sense of danger when he's around.
Really looking forward to seeing him.
Flamengo have clearly decided to play here with a 5-3-2 formation, Jim.
Well, it could be a disguise, Peter, for something else, and that five at the back can easily produce wing-backs. If that's the case, I think, it might end up a three at times. Admittedly, though, if they do play deeper and in line with the centre-backs, then we can take it that they don't really want to give much away. That'll be foremost in their minds. But essentially, it depends on the two wide players in that defence. If they push on a little bit more, we could see something very different.
There's the whistle, and here we go. Oh, facing up to his... And the finish! It's in!
Well, they would have been looking at him to produce the goods, and that was very kind of him to oblige so early.
Another moment of magic, a real wow moment.
It's beautiful poise. I mean, most players in that position, I think, would probably fluff that, but not this fella.
So, a breakthrough already. Bruno Fernandes bumps him off it and wins back the ball. Lovely pass, but can he get there? And this is Van Nistelrooy. Beckham, brilliantly cut out. And he's heaved it away. Van Nistelrooy looking for the run. Berbatov. Not getting too much time on the ball here. That is good pressing. Now it's Berbatov. And a shot! He has done it! 2-0 and in next to no time. They forced the error and extracted the maximum punishment.
It's just sloppy to lose the ball like that, Peter. The ease which they were able to cut through them from there, that definitely doesn't have a good look about it.
Flamengo are doing very nicely, thank you.
This is wonderful front-footed football. The manager will be absolutely thrilled to see his team clicking in every department.
That is a great pick out. He's having a shot! Euphoria, utopia, and they are cavorting. They are really purring here, and they have extended their lead in the blink of an eye. That is so good, such sharp skills, and such a delicious finish.
Well, I think he was saying to his teammates, how dare you doubt me?
Three 0 and things are starting to look awfully cosy.
To be expected, Peter. They've gone and stepped it up, something they've been threatening to do and will continue to do by the looks of it.
And the first half is done. Well, who would have thought it? A huge chasm between the two teams already, and it might grow even wider in this second half.
Well, they're in a great position, Peter, so why stop now? I would say keep going, keep at it. They've done everything right so far, so they'll want to keep things that way.
Flamengo, 3 goals to the good after a really excellent first half that's been intriguing to watch. Plenty of highlights to show you during the break. And we're off again. And there goes the final whistle. Well, that was a tale of two very different teams. One driven, ruthless, prolific. The other quite the opposite in all of those areas. The result, a very accurate reflection of what we saw. Berbatov claiming the Man of the Match award, and there is very little room for argument. Your final thoughts, Jim?
Well, the look on the manager's face says it all. He knows he set his attack up perfectly, and the players carried out his instructions to the letter, it would seem. Everything working very nicely.
And all that remains for me is to thank Jim Beglin. That's it from us tonight. A very good evening to one and all. Flamengo are utterly focused on their objective here. A single point and the job is done. Can they do it? Colours vivid and vibrant, songs loud and proud. The tone for this game is well and truly set. And that's it. And with that, it's time for me to thank Jim Beglin and to wish you a very good evening. So welcome to a day of high ambition, high aspiration and expectation. Just 1 point required and a brighter future is in the bag. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. Things have got underway here pretty promptly. Flamengo cannot afford to slip up here. Terrific support, and they're going to need it all. Nicely spread. Chooses to go back. Oh, he had to make that, and he did make it. Now it's Shevchenko. And he's on his way! Shoots! They've scored!
Well, talk about a real rude awakening. It's almost as if the defence saw nothing coming. They just didn't anticipate, on heels rather than toes.
That is so good, such sharp skills and such a delicious finish.
Yeah, he gets top marks for that finish. I honestly thought his odds weren't that good.
Flamengo have their opener. It is a goal of real significance.
They still can't get carried away. They haven't been promoted just yet.
Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
Now it's Shevchenko. So just the one early goal to report so far, and the score is 1-0. Bumps him off it and wins back the ball. Chiellini. Played over towards the opposite flank. Oh, he's been caught on it here! Albert Ferrer. First quarter of an hour gone. He's got plenty of space out wide here. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Now it's Kane. Kane stood his ground strongly. He's had a shot! Oh, it's come loose. Shevchenko. Well, it looked promising for a moment, but it came to nothing. Albert Ferrer gets across to intercept that. Tries to play it through.
Whatever happens, that's the kind of movement which raises hope.
Nothing wrong with that tackle. Ball won cleanly. Mateus can see things others simply cannot. Flamengo applying the press here, a high press. Yeah, can he finish? And that's what you call inspired goalkeeping.
Oh, he's really looking like he's on the very top of his game here.
And here's Kane. Conte. Now it's Shevchenko. Mateus. Now it's Kane. And it's Azar. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Oh, he'd have done well to reach that. Mateus. And here's Kane. Cannavaro has given away a free kick. Oh, that's a waste.
Messi will have to accept some flack for that. Was anyone really expecting it?
Kante does really well to win the ball there. And it's Shevchenko. Chiellini concedes a free kick for that. The referee has resisted the temptation to go to his pocket. It's just a stern lecture. That was mighty close. And he's intervened well there. Plays a sharp little ball here. Conte. Shevchenko. Now it's Eto'o. Oh, what has happened here? And that's been slipped through. And the shot! Really well taken goal. And this is getting better and better. Wonderfully smooth, smart and slick.
Just the sort of forward pass he's been looking for. Very telling.
Welcome to those who have joined us all here on a beautiful, clear evening. The conditions contributing to a fantastic atmosphere in the stands. This really is the place to be. I'm Peter Drury, and seated in the experts' hot seat is our man Jim Beglin.
Well, thanks for that, Peter. I'm more than ready to get going here.
So Manchester welcomes yet another grand fixture, all present here at one of English football's grandest shrines. Barcelona have opted for a 4-5-1 formation, it appears, Jim.
Well, most teams that use this system, Peter, will work it in a way where, yes, they'll have a 4-5-1 shape off the ball and ideally a 4-3-3 shape on it. We often see that 4-1-4-1 shape too, and that has an obvious flexibility about it. It's a popular managerial selection because of that. It's just extremely flexible with all the numbers I've mentioned.
There's the whistle. Well, now here's a team sheet that speaks of excitement and unpredictability, Jim.
It certainly does, Peter, especially since it includes a certain Dimitar Berbatov. I think he'll be the key to connecting the midfield to the attack here. Such a potent finisher, but remarkably unselfish too. And he will often drop that little bit deeper to try and trigger attacks himself.
Just such a clever footballer, and there's always a sense of danger when he's around.
Really looking forward to seeing him.
Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. Not the most accurate pass. It's gone out for a throw-in. And that's very disappointing, it has to be said. And it's Berbatov. Oh, good ball! Van Nistelrooy! It's in!
Well, they would have been looking at him to produce the goods, and that was very kind of him to oblige so early.
Oh, beautifully dispatched. There was no reaching that.
That's just a fabulous, fabulous finish. Anything that close to the frame of the goal, 99 times out of 100, the keeper's not getting there.
So the game's first significant moment, and it's come earlier than perhaps we anticipated. More and more pressure on the ball here. Irwin.
Flamengo really should be happy to let this half run out now and go again second.
Shot could be on. Big chance! It's in! And this is getting better and better. A mere formality, nigh on a certainty. He is truly in the zone.
Well, was there ever any doubt? It made it look like he's done it over and over and over again, and he has.
Flamengo are sitting pretty, 2-0 up.
Yeah, and you have to say that the contrast of moods are very visible now. They really fancy themselves to go and wrap things up.
And he's picked out the run. And he's on his way. Shoots! And it's there! And look at his joy. Is this not why we love the game? And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Flamengo are such an adept counter-attacking team. They produced something out of nothing there. A few seconds was all it took for them to convert a defensive situation into a goal, and it's very impressive.
And with that, the hat-trick is complete.
Well, you had to fancy him, Peter. He seems to be growing in stature with every goal.
A case now of complete control. Aimed beyond the defence. And a shot! And it's in! They are really purring here, and they have extended their lead in the blink of an eye.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious, Peter, that this emphasises the importance of having willing runners who want to go behind that defence. One good ball, and they're in.
He's got 4. That is remarkable. Flamengo are having a ball here. Balde. He has found the way through. And this is just the goalkeeper's... And he shoots! Sticks it away! And they're at it again in double quick time.
Some of those players look totally lost out there now, Peter, and you can't blame them.
Things look... And we hit half-time. Who would have seen this? By any yardstick, it is pretty much ideal for them.
Flamengo really are in control here. They've done exactly what they set out to do. There's a genuine flow about their football, and some of the stuff they've played so far has been great on the eye.
Flamengo have had it all their own way so far then, and they go in at the break in an utterly dominant position. And we're underway again. And that's a dangerous... Tries a shot! They've scored! And the headlines continue to get darker and darker.
Well, this is turning into a real hammering now, Peter. They're demoralised.
Another one! This must be his personal high. Martin. Balde. Van Nistelrooy. And this is Berbatov. He's one-on-one! And the shot! Really well taken goal. And he celebrates his 30th goal.
It's a mass exodus now. Certain sections of the stadium are leaving in droves, and you can't blame them. Well, that's really winded the opposition. You can see their manager screaming on the touchline, telling his team to calm down. But they'll need to do that pretty quickly. It's composure from here.
Looking to play him in. Takes a shot! It's there! And it adds further to a heavily one-sided scoreline. This is getting punishing.
Absolutely no element of fluke either. Makes this even more worrying in some ways.
And yes, it's him again.
To be expected, Peter. They've gone and stepped it up, something they've been threatening to do and will continue to do by the looks of it.
Cantona, of course, a dribbler of outlandish ability. Now there's the shot! Oh, taken with style! How many, just how many? The gulf in class is vast.
Well, it's a goal fest, and the fact it's so one-sided now is getting scary. Well, their manager seems to have them always thinking about the next goal. When's the next goal coming? They're such an entertaining watch.
Tries to pass it through. And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside. Kubasi. And Rafinha. There were better options before the ball was lost. Easy to say from up here, I know. Chance! It's a goal! And the chasm continues to widen. A brutal statement that underpins where these teams are at.
Well, I think we've reached the point when even damage limitations is no longer an option.
And there was his third, and boy, he looks the business, doesn't he just?
Well, he's been on a crusade, and his first goal seemed to just whet the appetite. Well, it's been an absolutely fabulous spell for them, and they're starting to look unstoppable. There could be more on the way.
Van Nistelrooy under intense pressure.
Well, he helps himself to a treble, Peter, and then they switch on. It's
great chance! And yes, it's there! And it is becoming almost too painful to watch. Where to next?
Look, all they want to hear right now is the final whistle. They've been humiliated.
As if 3 weren't enough, this is nigh on utopian.
And things are much healthier in their favour. Mind you, you would have thought that when the last one went in.
And this is Van Nistelrooy. And this is Berbatov. He might be in here. Chance, surely! And he hits the net. And this is getting ridiculous. Borderline crazy.
I can see some heads dropping here now, Peter. I see things getting even worse out there if they're not careful.
How many? Just how many?
This is wonderful front-footed football. The manager will be absolutely thrilled to see his team clicking in every department.
Berbatov. And they can counter here. He's through here. And this is Van Nistelrooy. Picked out brilliantly. He's having a shot! Ferran Torres. Plays a sharp little ball here. Face to face. He's had a shot! No mistake! It hurts. It hurts, does it not? Oh, how reality hurts.
Some of those players look totally lost out there now, Peter, and you can't blame them. Well, they're very much the better team at the moment, Peter, and no doubt will be looking to cause even more damage here.
Barcelona disappointing in the end there. They lack urgency. Oh, played right into his path. Van Nistelrooy, can he finish? They've done it! They are getting horribly bullied, and it seems there is plenty more to come.
It's a mass exodus now. Certain sections of the stadium are leaving in droves, and you can't blame them. Well, it's been an absolutely fabulous spell for them, and they're starting to look unstoppable. There could be more on the way.
Rashford. Rafinha. Casemiro. 75 minutes played. Casemiro. Looking for options for movement. Van Nistelrooy is flagged offside. Kubasi. Oh, he's burst through. He's through. It's one-on-one. And a chance. It's in. And this is getting ridiculous. Borderline crazy.
Absolutely no element of fluke either. Makes this even more worrying in some ways. Well, their manager seems to have them always thinking about the next goal. When's the next goal coming? They're such an entertaining watch.
Van Nistelrooy. And this is Berbatov. Lovely pass, but can he get there? Now it's Beckham. Beckham made a good run there. He's picked his way through. Van Nistelrooy. And Van Nistelrooy! Oh, crossbar! Beckham. And it's Van Nistelrooy. Rafinha. Stood up well to him there. Oh, there's a probing ball. And the counter is on. And this is Van Nistelrooy. He shifted it to the flank.
Well, it seems as if he's just had a momentary lapse and slipped into tunnel vision because he had good options around him and he failed to get his head up.
Now it's Cantona. He is through here. So much touch. Chance for a shot! He's scored! And it is becoming almost too painful to watch. Where to next?
Well, I think we've reached the point when even damage limitations is no longer an option.
Martin. Rashford. Irwin. Flamengo clearly now in lead preservation mode. And that is as far as it goes. Flamengo, just a thrill to witness here. Quick, slick, and such fun. You really would fear for anyone playing up against them right now. Van Nistelrooy walking off with the spoils, richly deserved. Well, what are your thoughts on today's game then, Jim?
Flamengo definitely impressing me here, especially the way that attack clicked. Whether it was link-up play, running in behind, this has just been a great day at the office.
My thanks to Jim alongside me, and as the fans make their way home, so must we. Good evening to you. Flamengo are already in celebration mode. Free from pressure, free from tension. All that remains is to add the icing to the promotion cake. The instantly recognisable Signal Iduna Park, one of Europe's most unforgettable stadia. Things have got underway here pretty promptly. So, Jim, tell me this, who are you looking for in particular here?
Well, I think it'll be interesting, Peter, to see what challenge the opposition now...
Oh, smashing header! And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
Vitoria with their first corner, the first in the game for either side, actually. Flamengo are looking to go forward now. Now it's Shevchenko. No, he wasn't going to let him past. It's great defensive work. It doesn't take too much imagination to guess what would have happened otherwise.
It's admirable, but ultimately he didn't know when to look for support.
Flamengo do have a chance to counter here. Now it's Eto'o. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. Yamal will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. That's a risky ball, you've got to say. I wonder what you've seen, Jim, over the early moments of the game.
Well, both sides seem happy with the patient approach for now, still trying to have a good look at one another.
That's the keeper's ball. Neymar. Whatever he had in mind, that was not it. Casado, and that has left him in a heap. Well, they're looking at the referee, but he's waved play on. Too much on it, and that is an easy claim for the keeper. Well, it looked promising for a moment, but it came to nothing. Now it's Yamal. Flamengo yet to have an attempt on goal. For a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. Now it's Mbappe.
That's good play from him.
Well read, and the danger is averted. Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
Vitoria clearly didn't help themselves by telegraphing that one. It was always going to be intercepted.
And it's Casado. And here's Welbeck. Welbeck! It's run loose. Who's going to get there? Conte. Now the ball in. Up he goes! He's missed, but not by that far.
Yeah, it's good movement, though. A bit unlucky he couldn't actually steer it goalwards.
And they're back on the ball again. Threads one in. Oh, that's a key interception. Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
Flamengo clearly should have gone for the easier pass. Now they'll have to quickly regroup.
It is a corner. This their second corner of the game. Header! It's loose now and they want to get it back. Oh, he's been caught. And one more try! Oh, the ball's run loose here. Straight at the keeper.
Well, that looked very much like a case of stage fright. His job is to steer clear of the keeper.
Neither of these two want to come off second best. And it's Conte. Mbappe is onto this.
Mbappe really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
Gattuso, Shevchenko, and he's had a hit. And the ball's come loose here. Mbappe. Still looking for the first breakthrough, and it is nearly half-time now. Musiala. Costa Curta cuts it out. And this is Shevchenko. Gattuso. Casado. And it's Conte. For Musiala. Welbeck. Davids. Eto'o. Neymar. Now that looks a decent ball. He's on it. Can he get away? Played in with purpose. Donnarumma deals with that nice and simple. And Shevchenko! And again the keeper stands strong.
Shevchenko really can't believe it. Foiled by the keeper again.
Mendes can get it clear. And now a sudden chance to counter. Araujo. Casado. And it's Musiala. And the whistle goes for half-time. It hasn't been a bad watch, not by any means. The intensity levels are there. We've just lacked that telling breakthrough moment. And we are up to the break.
Flamengo really did turn up the tempo at the end of the half, and while they'll be disappointed not to have broken through, obviously, the chances will come, provided they can keep producing good spells. It's been a half with significantly more positives than negatives, I feel.
So, no breakthrough from either side, 0-0 after 45 minutes of action. And if you're just back from your break, you've missed very little of the resumption of the second half. So the first half brought no goals.
Well, the moans and groans from the stands now are very audible.
And it's Welbeck. And here's Dembele. Vittoria applying the press here, a high press.
Yeah, we see this so often these days, but it does demand an awful lot of work rate and, of course, the discipline, because it has to be with everyone. It can't be with one or two. If that starts happening here, it'll just fall away.
Yeah, and there are so much of them, but of course, the returns can be terrific. Shevchenko unable to make it happen for all his good intentions. Tries to play it through. Alexander-Arnold picks it up out wide. And he's made sure that's not getting through. Shevchenko. Shevchenko.
That was lovely, that.
Now it's Eto'o. Eto'o! In he goes again. It's hit the upright. He's got a goal! Gattuso duly reaps his reward, kept his cool whilst the defence lost their bearings.
Such good movement. Some players have that natural ability to be in the right place at the right time. We've just seen the perfect example.
Flamengo have penetrated for the first time. Real chance! Well, now it's a race for the ball. Has another go! Vittoria have their third corner. Quarter of an hour into the second half.
Well, that's certainly more like it. They can't let the intensity drop now, Peter.
They're coming again and again.
Well,
he's had a shot! It's in! A two-goal lead, and they're firmly in control. Speed of thought, efficiency of movement, and certainty of out. And that's it. My thanks to Jim. We both wish you a very good evening. So bring it on. Fresh, fervent, fevered, how it always was and how it always will be. Feel it. This is where it starts. Whatever your ambitions, a good beginning is the perfect way to get things underway. Well, colour and passion just oozing from the stands here. These fans love their football, and we're about to be dished up a feast of it. So off we go then. Jim, who do you reckon is pivotal?
Well, Peter, I can tell you that I'm a fan of this guy, Christian Romero, described by his national team boss as spectacular. I've always seen him as been brave, very aggressive defensively, but front-footed as well. And let me go into a little more detail on that, because some of the runs he makes are actually quite crazy, and there seems to be a recklessness about it and no order, and he just leaves it to whomever behind him to fill the gap. But I like that in his game.
Yeah, he'll certainly be leaving his mark on this game, quite possibly actually at both ends. Now it's Torres. Fernando Torres. Torres! There it is!
Listen, the big names earn their reputations for precisely the reason we've just seen. They have a habit of making their presence felt, and here we are, early stages. He struck one, and he looks hungry for more.
The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Look, if you want to be effective on the break, then the key element is always pace. That's what really rips defences apart, and it's difficult to find an answer to it when it's applied like that.
So the game's first significant moment, and it's come earlier than perhaps we anticipated. Neither of these two want to come off second best. And the half-time whistle goes. So a steady, solid and more than satisfactory first half. They've got the lead and that gives them something to build on after the break. Where do you think we're up to after 45 minutes?
Well, it's obvious, Peter, that this team was set up to play on the break, and their opponents pretty much played right into their hands, so no wonder they've got their tails up at half-time.
Flamengo head for the dressing room in possession of a 1-0 lead. And the action is back on the way. A solitary goal, that has been the crucial difference. And the referee brings it to a close. Relief, finally. Now at last they can enjoy the taste of victory. Fingernails bitten to the quick, but they have got over the line. Quite a ride. Fernando Torres picking up the Man of the Match award, and no surprise there. Well, nothing beats the feeling of getting promoted. The hard work already done, the team can set out to enjoy this game and bask in the adulation of their adoring fans. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. And already we're underway here. Cannavaro making himself the star of this show. Hard to believe, really, that he's already made it up to 300 appearances.
Well, Peter, it's...
Chance! Strokes it back.
that's good pressure. It gave him no other choice.
Rijkaard. Drogba. Flamengo are looking to break at pace. And he's found a way past.
That's good play from him.
Drogba had a really good go at breaking through, but ultimately he was just about kept out.
Yeah, definitely not much wrong with what he tried, all things considered. The defence were just well prepared for what was coming.
And that's been slipped through. He came in hard, very hard. You have to say that was an exemplary tackle. Stopped him dead in his tracks. Oh, there's a probing ball. Shot could be on. Pele is flagged offside. I wonder what you've seen, Jim, over the early moments of the game.
Well, both sides seem happy with the patient approach for now, still trying to have a good look at one another.
And it's Messi. Cruyff. Now it's Pele. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Tries to play it through, and he was alert to it. That's a pretty loose pass. Cruyff. Oh, facing up to his adversary. This is a formidable matchup. And he's had it nicked away. Oh, really cute. What a lovely series of passes. And he's made sure that's not getting through. Flamengo still without a single shot on target. Now that looks a decent ball. Shevchenko. Ferdinand. Totti charging forward, the ball at his feet. Cruyff, the specialist in tearing teams apart. Rijkaard. Totti will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Totti! Oh, it's fallen kindly here. He's scored! Some heroic goalkeeping, but even that couldn't save them this time.
Well, that's not the best attempt by the keeper, and he's just paid the ultimate price, hasn't he?
A 1-0 lead established.
Well, I guess this ought to make things interesting, Peter. No doubt the opposition will now be forced to play a more open and riskier game.
Well, that has not gone well.
Flamengo are really in a position where patience and prudence will serve them best. Time's on their side.
Yaya Toure to Totti. Pele can so cleverly bypass the press. That is good pressure, just hounded him off it. Oh, nicely intercepted. Cannavaro. Yaya Toure. Passes short. Has a shot! It's a loose ball. Oh, he's been caught napping. That's a lovely, neat pass. Drogba. That is ended up in no man's land. Totti. And it's Yaya Toure. That's Cannavaro.
Flamengo certainly could do with a positive spell for the remainder of this half, just to set the tone for what's to come.
Cannavaro. For Yaya Toure. And it's Totti. Passing is crisp and sharp. It's Pele! An attempt which, in hindsight, was probably just beyond him.
He's never the type to turn down a challenge, is he?
Davids. Cruyff doing full tilt down the left. Yaya Toure. Totti. Gets a good foot in there. The ball has bounced loose now. Messi, a player who needs no introduction. And it's Cruyff. Totti. Here's a chance!
That's alert and sharp and very well played.
And here's Rijkaard. Neymar. Now it's Shevchenko. And that'll be the last act of the first half. A very combative, competitive half with just the one decisive moment. It's been compelling stuff.
Yeah, you don't get any points for stating the obvious, Peter, but thankfully this is still very savable. Keep things simple, keep the intensity high, and hope for an early goal. If that happens, it's a game changer.
And we're off again.
Flamengo really need to bring up their intensity and rhythm a notch or two, Peter. Just looked at a step.
Oh, he's been Drogba! And he was there to get a vital touch.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
And we have our very first corner. Nice interception, well timed. Beckham with the clearance. And it's Neymar. Totti, who needs just a moment to score a goal. Thuram. Totti. Beckham. Now he's got space here. Cannavaro. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. Out to the right. And here's Rui Costa. And Beckham!
A beautifully...
This time, surely! Conte. Neymar. Now it's Shevchenko. And that's the end of that. It all started well enough. Flamengo still this single goal behind. Totti. Neither of these two want to come off second best. Beckham. Kante did well to step in there. That was more than necessary. Now it's Shevchenko. Cannavaro. It's Cruyff. It'll be a throw-in. So, Jim, what are you thinking?
Flamengo are not doing enough to get themselves back in the game. They're not as threatening as their opposition. It's got to change.
That's a throw. And it's Rijkaard. Thuram, the man synonymous with Totti! Defending was strong and firm. Thuram. Totti. Passes coming off in quick succession here. Drogba. Now it's Shevchenko. And he's there to make the challenge. Now who's going to be first to this?
Well, it's definitely the right attitude and application, Peter. They've got to keep pushing.
There is an irresistible, irrepressible look about them here.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
Ferdinand. Cannavaro. And it's Cruyff. Here's Totti. Totti takes a shot! And that certainly packed a punch. Beckham engages and forces him off the ball. Oh, well played. That has snuffed out the danger. Thuram. Just a quarter of an hour to play. Plays a sharp little ball here. Oh, he's been flattened there.
I think the message here is quite clear, Peter. They want another one and will seemingly keep going until they get it.
And it's Totti. And it's made its way to him. And it's Pele! It's loose now and they want to get it back. Rui Costa. Shevchenko. Flamengo have it back and can go again. Now it's Pele. And that's really well manoeuvred. He's having a go! Oh, and that should have been two.
He's really trying to take this upon himself to get it won.
Neymar showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but couldn't quite sort it out. Looking tidy in possession here. Comes under pressure and it's come loose.
This usually is the time teams go into conservation mode.
Pass is just off target. Cannavaro. Cruyff. Rui Costa. And it's Totti. And that is a little undercooked. And time is up. So in the end, one goal did it. An exciting encounter where both sides produced a genuine effort to go on and win it, but neither was able to add to the scoreline in the end. How would you sum up what we've witnessed, Jim?
Well, the way the manager...